All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving right into something I know we all think about, demystifying the path to building wealth from absolute zero. Look, if you've ever felt like financial freedom is this, impenetrable fortress guarded by financial geniuses, well, the blueprint we're unpacking today is going to completely change how you look at it. We're going to break down the exact real-world strategies used by some of the most successful minds on the planet.
So, I want to kick things off with a surprisingly simple question. Why doesn't Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor of our time, jump 7-foot bars? Now, you'd naturally think someone with his kind of unimaginable wealth spends his days pulling off these incredible athletic feats, right? Leaping over massive, insurmountable obstacles that the rest of us can't even fathom. But actually, as our sources reveal, that is completely 100% wrong.
Buffett actually has this famous saying, "I look for 1-foot bars I can step over." Just let that sink in for a second. Success at the billionaire level, it's not about heroic, gravity-defying leaps. It is simply about consistently and methodically stepping over simple, manageable hurdles. It's about finding those easy wins and executing them perfectly, time and time again. So this blueprint basically breaks down into 4 actionable steps. First up, the 1-foot bar strategy. Second, learn more, earn more. Third, the power of focus. And finally, mastering ordinary tasks. Let's jump right into step 1, the 1-foot bar strategy. The absolute core of this strategy is beautifully simple. As Buffett puts it, it's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. We so often paralyze ourselves trying to tackle these massive problems right out of the gate. We think, oh, I need $1 million idea on day 1. But trying to jump that 7-foot bar, that usually just leaves you stuck. The smart play, the billionaire play, is making small, correct decisions day after day. Sure, set a big goal, but make a very small, very manageable start. It's those tiny 1-foot steps that eventually compound into an absolute empire. Moving right along to step 2, learn more, earn more.
Okay, continuous learning is absolutely the first condition for financial freedom. Our sources outline this super simple, catchy rhyming rule. The more you learn, the more you earn. It really is that straightforward. If you assume your education ends the literal second you walk out of a classroom for the last time, you are severely capping your earning potential. The world evolves incredibly fast, right? So your knowledge base has to evolve right alongside it if you actually want to remain valuable in the marketplace.
Just look at Bill Gates with his immense, widely documented knowledge base, or, Mark Zuckerberg's relentless pursuit of learning. The sources we're looking at today highlight these figures not as some untouchable idols, but as tangible, real-world proof. Their massive earning power is directly correlated to their continuous learning. For them, reading and upskilling isn't just a weekend hobby, it is the fundamental engine driving their wealth. All right, that brings us to step 3, the power of focus. Now, pulling this off requires what's called a concentration of excellence. Basically, that means the unwavering, absolute focus required on a specific goal to literally make success knock at your door. We live in a world packed with endless distractions, notifications popping off every 5 seconds, but trying to be reasonably good at 10 different things, that is never going to yield billionaire-level results. You have got to be totally, 100% dialed into your primary objective to achieve the absolute excellence required to stand out. Think about Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook. These aren't just massive, faceless companies. They are real-world case studies built entirely on intense concentration. During their critical building phases, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg locked onto a singular vision and poured literally every ounce of their energy right into it. If your focus is constantly wavering from one shiny object to the next, success simply will not come knocking. And finally, we arrive at step 4, mastering ordinary tasks. There is this persistent, honestly damaging myth out there that getting rich requires superhuman intelligence. Like you need to be doing literal rocket science every single day at your desk. But the reality is strikingly different. Financial freedom actually comes from executing ordinary tasks perfectly, day after day. It's all about flawless routine execution. You don't need a PhD to build wealth. You really don't. What you need is the discipline to execute the basics flawlessly over a long period of time. So let's rapidly summarize this actionable blueprint we've built. 1, small starts. Find those 1-foot bars. 2, continuous learning. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. 3, absolute focus. Maintain that concentration of excellence. And 4, mastering the ordinary. Execute your daily routines flawlessly. So, the big question. How do you apply this directly to your own life? Well, first, prioritize your skill development. You have to invest time in yourself. Second, make small, consistent investments. Honestly, you just need to start, even if it's tiny. And third, make timely decisions. By applying these exact concepts, you are going to immediately stand out from the crowd of people who are still out there paralyzing themselves over those 7-foot hurdles. Which brings us to our final and definitely most important question. What is your 1-foot bar today? Stop intimidating yourself with a massive end goal. Look right in front of you. What is one small, simple, absolutely manageable step you can step over right now to start building your future? Think about it, and more importantly, take that step today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.